Hello everyone. So today we will pick up the PR process, nothing but the pull request. Okay, so we have almost finished a full circle, that is initialized first git followed by branching and then merging and then deleting branch. Then we spoke about git workflows and a few best practices, the git logs, how to use them, and then creating a github, and we have done our first push as well. Now what is PR? This is a good document which you can go through from the GitHub official repository. And so what is a PR? PR is nothing but pull request. It's like kind of asking a permission or letting someone know that this is the change I'm going to put into the main repository, and you're asking if I can, or if not, why. There are two cases wherein you would do this. One is in your workplace wherein you all are working on a project. You don't want every other code to just go into the master, right? You would want a good quality, minimal bug code to be merged, right? It in workspace you are communicating about the change you have made and to get your code reviewed. Case 2 is when you're contributing to some open projects, right? Public projects or projects wherein you don't have access. That is when you do some changes, you would ask for a PR request so that your code can be merged and your contribution can be a part of the master. Next, to take it into detail, kind of I'll tell you the steps. So since we already know what is branching, what is pushing and what is pulling, let me show you the process. So the step 1 would be you pulling in the latest code and you having the latest code. Okay, this is after, say these are US 99, US 100 is basically user stories. So these are the 3 user stories that currently are open, and of which over here colleague A is the TL, the team lead, and then B is a senior and C is an associate. From the user stories that are open to work on, US 100 is been assigned to C. So what would C do is, first before that they would create a branch whenever there is a task individually. You usually will create one branch in the master. This is in the remote in the GitHub, and what is one is nothing but we are first doing a pull. Okay, creates the branch and then pull. So the branch comes into the C's local, then you work on this particular issue. Once you are done, you added, you committed, you push the code to that branch itself. Okay, that's the two. Okay, when you push once you have pushed the changes into the remote branch, you will raise a PR request. In practical, how is it done, we will be doing in the end, but now understand the concept. So you see this 3, the PR request going to A and B. Okay, usually it is predefined who will approve the changes, and in some cases when the project is very big, certain modules are handled by certain senior associates. Okay, so in this case C has mentioned A and B would be the code reviewers. So once the code is reviewed, B said all is okay and sent a green signal. But when A was reviewing the code, he or she found that there should be some improvement and there are some issues to be resolved. They will give some review comments, and then what happens is C will have to work on that review comments and again the raise PR again, and the process goes on till the point of satisfaction to A and B. Okay, another case, similar case, in this case what happens is A, there was, we first created a branch and then we pulled all the changes wherein the branch came to the local as well. Once the code changes was done, we pushed the changes to that branch itself, and then we raised a PR request with A and B as approvers, following which both A and B have approved the changes. Once that is done, once you have received approval, then you can merge your branch changes in your branch to the master. Okay, that's where PR process would end. Okay, That's how the process goes on. Now these are the different kind of situation. So what happens when there is new feature? Exactly what I showed here. We create a branch in GitHub, get the branch to local, work, add, commit, push the changes to the branch, create a PR, review, approve, and then merge. Okay, basically this steps here. Next would be what when there are more than one approvers, and we did have here, okay, uh, two approvers. When there are two approvers, both you need to get the approval from both of them. Next, what when there is a lazy approver? Lazy approver meaning there are many people like that who will not review the code sincerely and just approve it just because you are pretty confident that the particular person would have not done committed any issue. But that should not be case, because if there is a miss from their end, then this change would be merged to the master, which eventually will lead to issues in production, if not caught at the quality level. Next is, say a new bug has to be fixed. Will work similar as a new feature as well, in a similar fashion. You're creating branch, working same as the new feature process which we did here. Next is when a new teammate joins, what that person does is first he would be added into the Git repository, okay, and then the new guy would have to clone the entire code and start working same as the others, okay. Those are few situations. And next is we go with the actual the practical, okay. First I will go through and then we will do it practically. What we would do is first we would create a branch in GitHub. How do you do that? Go to your GitHub code main, and when you write on this, automatically you will be able to create a branch. Post that you will pull the master or of that particular branch which will work, whichever would work. I would suggest go for git pull origin main so that you have all the changes in your local, and then you check out in that particular branch because you're going to work on it, right? And then you work on it, and once you are done you add and commit it, and then push it to that same remote branch, okay. And then the PR process would start. What is the PR process? We first create the PR with the approver, and then it gets reviewed and approved, and if not approved, then you would have comments, and then you would have to do corrections in case it didn't work out, and once approved you would merge it, okay. So again, how is PR created? You would go to your Git pull request, click on new pull request, and then this is the branch wherein your changes are present. This is where you want to merge to, and it clearly shows what are the differences, and then you click on create pull request. And once that is done, you will come to this page wherein you need to write the title and descriptions. Title and description need to be very descriptive and simple, such that the approver would not have to struggle for the ID, your issue ID, your user story ID, and he knows you're fixing it or reverting it, or whether you're fixing it or you're actually implementing it. And here you would write who would be your reviewers. You will add that detail and say create pull request, okay. That is all that is there. So let's do this practically. So let me get my Git. Adding lines of code, okay. In reality you would be changing multiple files, right, based on what is the fix, or you've been given certain feature, or if you're in automation you would be automating certain feature and you're adding a particular function, okay. So basically we have done some change. That is what that is all that matters to get, okay. Now that we are back here, so let's say get status. It says you changed a file, so then you can say get add. Usually it's best to mention the file name, okay, or you can do git add dot and git to check PR. Okay, it's committed now. Now once that is committed, we will push it into our remote repository. So then you would do get push origin and the branch name. Okay, and then it has been pushed. If you try to read it, you can see it has resolved the deltas, and the my local branch has been updated. Whatever changes were done in the local branch has been updated into the master branch. So let us check our git log, and we got a beautiful log wherein it shows everything is updated, and my local, this particular branch and the remote branch are at the same place. Okay, to escape, because this is scrollable screen, whenever you have to escape, just say Q. We have created a branch in the GitHub. We have brought the branch local, worked on it, add commit, push the process. Now we'll start the PR process. Okay, like it is telling, it's giving us the information that we have that recent that is pushes 2 seconds ago. Adding few changes to check PR. Always there's a standard or the particular best practices on how you have to write this down, and once you're done, you can also check the changes that are being done. I can say create pull request. So I forgot to put the reviewers, so you can add reviewers. Just you can click over here and mention your reviewers. Once when you go into the login to see, now this would be the page when you have a PR that we just created. It clearly says 1 minute ago, so we'll open it. When a person is coming to review a change, what he would do is just go to the page files changed, and you want to add any review comments, please say can start a review, and you can finish the review. And when you finish, you can add a comment, or you can approve changes, or request some more changes. Okay, since I am the only person, only the comment will be active in a team of 3, and if it was someone else's comment, the approve would have been selected, then I could select approve. Okay, so now let me select comment and say submit review. Okay, say once you have received an approval, my login, I would see this review comments. Okay, I could follow what was requested, and once I receive an approval, I can say merge pull request and say confirm merge. Once that is done, the changes have been merged. Okay, so let us quickly check in our repo if the changes can be seen, and the changes is seen, and hence the changes are in the master, in the main. If you see, the main is having the change now. Okay, that completes the PR process. Post this, always it's a best practice that once you have done with merging, you can delete the branch, because the changes are already merged with the master. We go back, we have finished the PR process as well, and all the steps are completed. Next is PR best practices. One is, initially always we need to assign module owners, okay, who are responsible for certain module codes, and you can also add rules, as you know, you need so many approvals, and you require a pull request before merging. You can add rules like that on GitHub. Next, as an author, you need to write good names and comments for branch name. Like branch name can be in the format, is it a feature, bug fix, or refactor, whatever you can mention, and say maybe underscore and then the description. And clean formatted commit history. If you When we had covered git log, we mentioned that the characters should be 50 to 72, so that when we are seeing the git log, we have a beautiful history which gives all the details. I mean, everything comes in one screen. Clean the debug helpers. Basically, while working on a code, we usually put print statements in between, some hard coding. We need to remove all this because we don't want to strain the reviewer to get, obviously he would have a lesser lines of code to review. Next, write clear titles and descriptions for your pull request. That is, what is the purpose, what changed, any links. If you're working on a user story, its ID. If you're working on an issue, its ID. And always make small PRs, preferably one PR for each issue or one PR for each user story. One, because for the reviewer it will not be a big chunk of code at a time, and when it is smaller chunk, it's most likely he or she would review in few hours. Review your own pull request first, okay? As a reviewer, provide constructive feedback, not relying that the author would have tested the code. Like I mentioned, there is something called a lazy reviewer, wherein the or friendship reviewer also, you can say. Some people are in good terms of the other, and so you think that possibly he would have done all the changes required and covered all the corner cases. That should not be the case. Conduct code reviews within few hours after receiving the review request. One, because this thing would be fresh in the author's mind, and if whatever changes you are requesting, he would be able to work on it quickly. If he would have moved on to something else, that would take time to bounce back. So these are few of the PR best practices, and then also you can also use engineering analytic tools like Dev Dynamics. There are few more regarding your health of your PRs, that shows how well your code reviews are, how well the code is being written, um, and how are we best using our resources. Okay, that is all I had for today. We are done with the PR request as well. If you have any questions regarding the PR request or you're stuck at any point, please do let me know. I will try to help you guys. Thank you.